The notion that everybody knows the media is bad for society has become a widely discussed idea branching over multiple subjects. Society has begun blaming the media for violence, inappropriate sexual behaviour, and children behaving badly, among other concepts. The portrayal of children in the media and the effect it has sparked debates both dismissing and supporting the theory. According to Stephen Harrington, there are many sub-issues that are part of the media sexualising our children debate. The marketing of commercial products to young people generally, selling adult fashion to young children, promoting unhealthy or unrealistic body images, children having sex too soon, sexualizing children will invoke and or provoke pedophiles, the heightened risk of children being exposed to pornography at younger ages, and the general pornification of society are some of the issues that have arisen. As noted in his Week 5 lecture, Stephen Harrington suggests the argument that children are being sexualized by the media is supported by concerns that are vague, dubious claims regarding the effects, and a lack of historical perspective. Alan McKee noted in his report, Everything is Child Abuse, that any argument could gain rhetorical force when it aims to protect children. This becomes problematic because it is repressive, it creates hysteria and panic, and is distracting from real causes. This fear of children being sexualized by the media, according to Stephen Harrington, stems from a society-wide obsession with childhood innocence. The idea that children are vulnerable and therefore need to be protected from decidedly inappropriate forms of media. However, there are debates as to whether this is a rational fear or simply a moral panic. Moral panics, according to Stephen Harrington, usually revolve around the key themes of sex, violence, drug use, and language in reference to how our existing social values are being threatened. Media negatively affecting youths has been a moral panic almost since the creation of media itself, and according to Catherine Lumby and Duncan Fine in their 2006 book, Why is TV Good for Kids? Raising 21st Century Children, this issue is simply a scenario that continues to repeat itself. In the book they state, a new medium or art form emerges, and before the ink is dry in the paper or the TV program has been broadcast or the website has been set up, the media is full of stories about how our children are being corrupted. In 1972, a book entitled Evils of Adultery and Prostitution identified reading novels as a deviant act corrupting youths. Now, what's to say this fear of sexualizing children won't dissipate over time as the taboo around novels clearly did? The entire issue is rationalized mainly through media effects theory. Media effects logic is created from the hypodermic needle concept of media influence, which is a 1930s behaviorism theory. The media effects theory, however, is deeply problematic. According to Stephen Harrington, there are 4 main things wrong with the media effects theory. The first problem is the decontextualized view of media content, which reduces a complex range of behavior to physical effects, emphasizing the physical effects it will have and not taking into account different personal experiences or the full range of audience reactions possible. The second issue is a questionable approach to research. Often a correlation between 2 variables is found, but is presented as a causal relationship, or simply the information does not fit with the evidence. Emma Rush and Andrea Lanois, for example, in their 2006 report, Corporate Pedophilia, Sexualisation of Children in Australia, implied that young girls are buying into raunch culture because there is too much sex in the media. They are becoming anorexic because of raunch culture. They are being abused because they're becoming sexual too early, or becoming sexual too early because of too much sex in the media. Alan McKee responded to this, saying academic research would recognise each of these topics as distinct and as having quite a distinct etiology, which highlights an example of questionable research methods surrounding this issue. Thirdly, it chooses its targets selectively. Media effects theories are always about pop culture, new media, media for children, media for women, never about Shakespeare or the Bible. For example, according to Stephen Harrington in his Week 2 lecture, there is no evidence that porn correlates with negative attitudes toward women, yet despite this being a common moral panic. There is evidence, however, to show a correlation between right-wingers and negative attitudes toward women, but due to the selective nature of media effects theory, this correlation does not gain large public support. The fourth and final issue discussed by Stephen Harrington is the direction of reasoning, referring to a pre-existing assumption and or assumed cause of an issue, and works to prove this correct, instead of finding an unbiased argument. You may be asking yourself, why is media effects theory still relevant with all of these issues? Well, that's simply because it provides easy answers to complex issues. In the issue of children being over-sexualized by media, the media effects theory shifts the blame of deviant youth behavior to the media, instead of to the parents or the children themselves. While I am not saying there are definitively no negative implications regarding the media sexualising children, I am simply saying there are flaws in many arguments supporting it. Due to the fear media effects theory causes, large numbers of the population are amidst a moral panic instead of a rational fear, which has negative implications upon society as it causes panic, fear, and distractions from real causes, and it is repressive.